what I'm about to share with you guys is the reason I don't do this. Okay, you guys, we have a ton of things going on today. So first of all, I am making homemade donuts. I only do this once a year, usually at harvest, but we were sick, so we didn't get to do that. And so we're doing it today, as well as getting all of the stuff ready for our apple pressing. So I'm gonna take you guys outside because not only are we doing those things, we also had a big windstorm. Okay. My children still think that it should be 70 degrees outside and they don't need coats, but that's very not true. I'm gonna grab a headband and probably some gloves. Can you see if the guinea pigs would like some water, please? That might be why they're squeaking. Guinea pigs are very noisy creatures. Okay, so we also had a windstorm happen and we have some things that we have to fix. So one of the first things that happened and I noticed this morning was the hoop houses blew off. So we're gonna put those back. I'll show you this real quick. So we have apples, a whole bunch of apples. So some of them we picked and some of them I actually just picked up for a really good discount at the end of the season. So, and then there's the apple press, which we'll be using in a little bit. So some of the apples we picked up from a fruit stand at the end of the season. They sort of just have to dump all of their produce and stuff. And so that was how we got that. So it looks like my mom already did this. That tarp had blown off a bit, so she fixed that already. And now we're getting ready to fix. We probably need the tape and we also need the staple gun, I think. I don't know where Eli is. So pardon the goats, I'll show you what's going on with them in just a second here. But yeah, a lot of bits and pieces of this part came off, so we're just gonna have to restaple that. And when I came out here, this is absolutely crazy to me. Even though it's been so cold, the figs still have leaves. The nasturtiums still have flowers, and I have a whole bunch more of ripe cayenne peppers. So I'm also gonna have to come out here and deal with that, but I don't think that's gonna happen today, so maybe tomorrow. Okay, go inside, ask Eli to make you some toast. So we kind of woke up to this today, and to add to the craziness, because, you know, that's like my style, I decided that, you know, if I didn't go ahead and get these goats together, even though I didn't really have a great setup for it, then I was gonna just lose out. So I'm gonna flip it and show you what's happening. Okay, so Birdie and Rosie and Cape are all in here with Chico and Oxus in the back there. Now, normally you wouldn't necessarily want to put two breeding goats in with all of these guys, but I actually didn't really care who bred whom, or whatever. So far it looks like Birdie and Chico have paired up already, which we know is fine because she did that earlier. She's already had babies with him. Rosebud is actually not quite in heat yet, so she hasn't been bred yet. But Cape, as you can see, she is paired up with Oxford, which is kind of fun because she was registered and he is going to be registered. So those are going to be some really nice babies. And I'm kind of excited because he's a new buck to us over there. And she is definitely a proven mama. So I will be able to see what his babies, kind of how they come out and how that labor goes. So I'm really excited. We will be having babies. They take, Nigerian dwarfs are about 165 days, sometimes a little bit less, but they're pretty on target. And I'm not sure, I have a feeling Rosebud will probably pair up with Chico, and that's great. He makes super cute babies, as you can see. So all of this screaming is because it's super windy. It's been really windy overnight. And then now we have breeding goats. So Birdie and Rosebud are already confirmed. I'm watching the guys, as you see. But so far, like, they've established their dominance. Chico's clearly the dominant one. And Ox is just kind of hanging out. But Cape's already been bred, so that's been done. Okay, so I'm going to quit chatting. But I just wanted to show you, I'm going to take you guys along for the apple pressing here in a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and work on these repairs and Yeah, get on with it. Brr. Okay, not too bad. We got crazy hair today. That's all right, right? Ah, ouch. Well, you're just gonna see mohawk hair. Okay, so we fixed that real quick. We just used some staples. We went ahead and repaired the top of that one. And then we used, if you guys have never used this before to repair greenhouse plastic, this works great. It's this like roll of Tyvek tape, this stuff right here. So that works pretty good. Again, this greenhouse was sort of an experiment, and some things worked, some things didn't. Sometimes when we have, I think they said it was 45-mile-an-hour winds, which isn't anything like crazy, but enough to really, you know, do a little bit of damage. If you have a source for sandbags, like sandbags we can lay over the top of our hoop houses, leave a comment down below for me, because I'm going to be on the hunt for some of those. Okay, the donuts are done and everyone is starting to press apples in the shop. The little girls are playing dress up, of course, so I think they're gonna stay warm. It is pretty nice out today, but it's really windy, so that wind just cuts right through you. But anyway, I'm gonna leave these guys to rest here, and then we're gonna fry them. But let's go see what they're doing in the shop real quick. Okay, let's go see what they got going on out here. See how they're doing. Hello. Oh, Ben's cranking. All right, so we got hay in some of our apples. We don't usually have to wash them in the bucket because usually we grind them up a lot faster.
It's on a bucket, guys.
Great, yeah, that's great.
I'm trying.
So the apples go in here. Oh man, we got a lot of hay in there. Bummer. Well, oh well, we're pressing it out, I suppose. So apples go in there. They come out the bottom. Oh, he's ready. Not too fast, Eli, not too fast. There you go. And then when we're done, we're gonna go ahead and use this part as the press. Okay, I'm gonna go inside, get on some warmer clothes, and go out and help them, which I won't be really filming a whole lot of that part, but I will definitely show you guys when it comes time for pressing, because that's the fun part. All right, she's making juice, folks. You gonna get a cup, Eli?
Yes.
And test it out?
I'm not going to.
So the apple peelings and pressings, well, the apple, like grated apple from there went into here, and then now we're using this big weight and we're just cranking it down. The juice goes in here,
I'll fill this.
and then it goes into this bucket.
I'm not going to taste test. Who will?
That's good. That's good, Eli. Don't be greedy.
I'm not going to.
Test it. What do you mean?
You.
Okay, apparently I have to test it. Hey, turn it, Chloe. Oh yeah. Mmm. That's tasty. Oh, now he wants to have it. Now he wants it. What do you think, buddy?
Tasty.
It's good.
I'm keeping it.
Best apple juice there ever was. So technically, when it's pressed like this, it's just called apple cider. And then later.
I have no idea what that
Okay,
is.
so this is what we're going to be doing for the rest of the day.
How are the little girls doing?
They're good. They're playing dress up. We got a lot of apples. Okay, so the donuts are just about ready. Here's what they look like. Doing pretty good. So I went ahead, pardon my stove, we've been canning a lot. It's a little messy. But I have a straight-sided, very large skillet. I'm not sure, it might be a 16-inch skillet, but normally I would fill it to the bottom of these lines, but I didn't realize I was a little low on the oil, but honestly, that's okay. And this will be a good experiment. So a lot of people will use a thermometer when they're heating up their oil for frying. I've been doing this since I was a kid, so I don't do that. I actually don't even know what temperature you want it to be at. I just know when it's ready, and that's when I start frying. So I'll show you how I test it, and then that way, if you guys want to do it this way, you can. And otherwise, you can look online and find out what temperature you should fry them. It's probably like 375 would be my guess But again, I don't know, maybe it's $2.75. You can actually make probably any regular white bread recipe and you can make these donuts. It's really just a bread recipe. So this same recipe that we use for making our donuts is a recipe I've been using to make bread since I was little. It's my grandma's recipe. And we make donuts and rolls and bread and cinnamon rolls and any other regular bread products we make with this same recipe. So if you have a favorite bread recipe, you just do the same thing. This one we actually rose twice and it does have a large amount of milk in the recipe. I will be happy to leave the full recipe down in the description box for this. However, that's just gonna be like the normal roll recipe and then I'm gonna be frying it on top of that. So I'll do my best for leaving it for you guys there if you would like to make your own. Again, we've been making these for so long. It took me a long time to perfect them to where I was happy with the recipe and it was as good as my childhood and how I remember them. So we actually only ever made 2 types of donuts, and that is a just normal powdered sugar glazed donut and a maple bar. Of course, you cannot make donuts and not make maple bars. So since then, I have done all kinds of different ones. Sometimes we make chocolate frosting, depending on what the kids want. Sometimes I'll let them put sprinkles on. So I'll probably just let the kids have at it today. Usually I make like a triple batch and I have them ready for our harvest party. But like I said, because we weren't feeling well, we were not able to have our harvest party. And I know my friends who are here who are watching this video, I'm really sorry. And I'm sorry that you have to watch us eat these donuts today without you. But I've gained kind of reputation with these donuts over the years, and now my friends know when I'm making them, and usually people show up, which is one of the reasons. Yeah, sorry, we have so many dishes. I promise they're all clean. So anyway, one of the reasons we started doing our harvest party in the first place was because so many people wanted Esther's donuts. So anyway, I'm gonna heat up this oil and I will be back with you guys in just a minute. Okay, I had this brilliant idea where I was going to take my thermometer and tell you the exact temperature. However, when I looked, my thermometer is missing and my other one's battery is dead. So I'm sorry, but you're still not going to get to know what the temperature is. So anyway, one of the ways that I tell is the oil starts to shiver. It's not boiling, but it's just sort of moving. And it's also when you slosh it, you can see that it's a lot more runny and a thinner liquid than it was when it began. So I think we're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get these uncovered. I don't know why I always do this in the exact same order, but I just do. So here you go. Take our donut. We're just gonna stick it in. And that's how you know that it's ready, because it starts frying and bubbling. Now the oil is gonna be way too hot. I'm gonna get the rest of them in and then I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. So I usually do, I don't know, however many I can comfortably fit in there where they float and they're not really touching each other. So that's probably going to be 5. Okay, be careful not to slosh them. I like these tongs personally, but you have to be super careful when you're using metal tongs because you can damage the donuts while they're cooking. And all we're going to do, so I'm going to turn it down about halfway. This is my big Bunsen burner, okay? So it runs a little hotter than a normal size burner. And then all we're gonna do is make sure that they're cooked and browned on both sides. You guys have been working hard.
We have a lunch plan, honey.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do this with the wrong hand so I can use my right hand, okay? If my finger's in it, sorry. All right, so that's what you want them to look like when they're done, nice and golden on both sides. Now, it's kind of tricky because you don't want any yucky dough that's not cooked on the middle. That would be gross. So, and then I just put them over here on the cooling rack, but they look pretty darn good. And then all you do is continue repeating the process until all of your donuts are done. Now, I like to glaze these while they're still warm, but not super hot. So I'll show you that in here in a little bit. Okay, so I said it was going to be a little bit of an experiment because of the oil not being quite low enough. So here's the problem. Okay, so as it turns out, that having the oil not quite thick enough or deep enough, if you will, just mix it so that the donuts didn't float as good as they usually do, and so they started to burn on the bottoms. But since I've done this so many times, then I was really careful and just kept an eye on it. But I definitely suggest having it about 2 inches deep or so, depending on how deep your pan is. Like this is probably, well, maybe not 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, but I don't go over the bottoms of the silver in that pan there. So either way, what's great is they worked out really well. So to ensure that your donuts are completely cooked all the way through, I usually just make sure that they're as brown as I can let them get. And yeah, so we're gonna let these cool. I'm gonna go press some more juice out of those apples, and then I'll come back in here and we will glaze them. And then of course eat them. Okay, you guys, we are so close to being able to eat these delicious donuts. So I'm going to make 2 different types of frosting. One is just a vanilla glaze, and the other one, of course, is our maple, sort of like a buttercream. There is absolutely 0 recipe to these. I just follow what my grandma taught me. Glaze is just milk, vanilla, and powdered sugar. No, it's not healthy. And then the other one is you start with a butter base, and then you add your maple extract. I really like this crescent one. That's the one I've just used for ever and ever. And then you just add in a tiny bit of milk, just enough to make it thin and the way that you want it, like the thickness that you want it. You want to be able to spread it on there, but also you want it to be able to stick and be really good. So I'm gonna whip these up and then I'll show you the final product. All right, so here's the finished glaze. It's pretty runny, you can see that. And then maple, it's pretty thick. So these are still a tiny bit warm, but we're gonna do them anyway. Lovely. Oh, yeah. Okay, so.
Ooh, those are gonna be yummy. I'm having one of these ones.
Make sure you have a cookie sheet or something underneath. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up with a big mess. Okay, you gotta wait a minute. All right, you guys, don't those just look amazing? But, don't take my word for it. Let's wait for the kids and see what they have to say. Okay, sit down, please. Okay, Addie wants this one.
I'm having a half and half.
Chloe.
I'm having half and half. Can I have half and half?
I think you better go for a smaller one since your tummy's been hurting. Yes, let me cut a couple in half, okay?
We can half and half.
Now, where are they?
Yummy.
You haven't even tried it yet.
Too big to put in your mouth? I haven't even
Yum.
tried a thing.
What do you think, Addie girl?
You eat the bottom and then you eat the top. I have to drink special tea. Cause I
What do you
have
guys think?
special tea.
Yes, in a minute. What do you guys think?
Yummy.
Should we ever make these again? Are they terrible? Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yummy.
Let's see. Cheers, everybody. Pretty good, guys.
Yummy.
Mom, you don't have
Oh
me.
my goodness, you guys. It has been a really busy, really long day. As you can tell, I'm super tired. But my mom helped me clean up the kitchen. And we ended up getting, I don't know, somewhere around like 8 or 9 gallons of juice. Which, I mean, it depends on the type of apples that you're pressing. So most of the ones that we did were crab apples. So they're super tart and they don't really make a ton of juice. Which is why I went to the fruit stand and purchased the kind of the end of the season ones so that we would actually end up with more juice. So it is to be determined what I'm going to do with them, but likely we're going to turn some into hard cider, and then we're probably going to turn some into apple juice for the kids. And but I'm not entirely sure. It might all end up being apple juice. Part of it depends if I have any brewing yeast on hand. I know I have some for wine, but there's a specific kind I like. So anyway, I don't really know. But tomorrow we will be turning that box over there into applesauce and finishing up the last of the pears. Oh my gosh, we've been canning pears forever, it feels like. And then canning whatever apple juice we're gonna make. And then for the most part, oh, and tomatoes are on Monday. All those tomatoes that we had, we were freezing them so that we could just turn them all into sauce all at one time since they were ripening slowly. And I think after tomatoes, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything really major after that for the harvest, which means we get to move into our rest season, and boy howdy am I excited for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with us today. It was so good to be back filming. We did get a tree on our power line, and the amazing power company, thank you guys so much for working. If any of you work for a power company and you're watching this channel, I appreciate you guys so much keeping our power on and taking those trees off. We had a big windstorm come through. I told you guys a little bit about that today. I didn't get any footage of it, partly because I was trying to stay away from the power line, but yes, I can help you with your water. Time changes tonight. That's always super exciting. But we have worked so hard that it is fake 5:40. Fake 5:40. One of my kids already fell asleep in my arms. I took him up to bed, and the other two they're getting ready for bed too. So it's not going to be a very late night for us. And then we have another. Can you screw that on, Amy? And then we have another busy day planned for tomorrow. Good morning, you guys. It's finally warm enough to film outside with one glove off. It has been, let's see, the coldest morning we did chores was -1. And this morning is 22. We're pretty excited. It's been a while since I brought you out here, but I have a couple messages for you that I wanted to tag onto the end of this video. While I'm out here, I should let you know that Cape and Birdie have both been successfully bred. I'm not sure what's going on with Rosie. Are you like the warm water? The goats really like the warm water. We have done a major culling session throughout the barnyard. So we're down a couple goats, just 2. And let's see, what else did we do? A whole bunch of young roosters and 2 of the geese. So we're gonna have the geese for Christmas dinner. And doing this one-handed is super tricky. Okay, sorry about that. Could not handle that latch with one hand. Anyway, yeah, so let's see here. Rosie went in with the boys, but never showed any signs, and she definitely didn't get bred. So I'm not actually sure what's going on with her. I might just give her a year off. She just she has like this fainting gene that came along with the Nigerian dwarf breed, and sometimes that happens. Her brother was my physical reason on the farm why we chose not to do disbedding anymore, and that's why we keep our horns on our goats. He literally was like brain dead a little bit. He was so sweet and so special. I'm really excited. He actually went with one of our bucklings as a buddy and a companion, to just keep him company for the rest of his life because they got along really well. So Chico right here, Mr. Baby Mountain Goat, he bred Birdie, and then Ox bred Cape, and then Rosebud we're still waiting. So I'm thinking this week I may put her back in there. I might just put all of them back in there. It might even be this afternoon, just to doubly make sure that everyone is not going to go back into heat, because both these boys are actually going to be taken off farm here to 2 different farms, friends of mine, to go breed their stock. So they won't be here for the month of December. So if you miss them, don't worry, they're happy. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with the farmyard. Pigs are growing good. They're doing really well. They'll be ready for harvest sometime at the end of February. I'm thinking beginning of March. Just kind of depends on how harsh our winter is and what the temperatures are for butchering and all that kind of stuff. So we're walking out here to the back because I have to tell you guys this. I'm kind of irritated with myself because I don't usually do this, and what I'm about to share with you guys is the reason I don't do this. See this stuff right here? I did a ton of research this summer. I even put a video out, which I'm actually going to pull off the channel. Okay, so if you're looking for it, it's not going to be there. It was in the summer. We were huckleberry picking, and I found a whole bunch of this, as well as another kind of moss, which we up here in North Idaho, we call it deer moss. But I have recently found out that there's another plant called deer moss. It grows in the south and it grows down on the ground. So I actually quit referring it to deer moss because of that fact, and I try to be really accurate since I teach people about herbs so much. So if you watched that video from the summer, or you took any of my classes and we talked about this I was under the impression was usnea. Okay, now I did like a whole bunch of research, and I mean like a ton. I watched every single YouTube video I could find. I did, of course, all the Googling. I talked to people. I looked through all my books, everything I could do to make sure that I was giving an accurate representation of what usnea is and how to use it. Okay, so I made the video, showed the differences. This little guy right here, and I'm gonna go to the shop, and I have a whole bunch of it that I was going to make into medicine. Now I'm not going to, and I'm about to tell you. So here's my beautiful box of all this stuff that I thought was usnea, that I'm pretty darn sure is wolf lichen now. So this is probably gonna go on the burn pile. Look at all this stuff that I'd harvested so I could save. See all that? So sad. When learning to identify different plants, if you've taken any of my classes, I have a 3 rule. The rule of 3 means you have 3 positive sources, preferably, people who actually use the herb and have success with it. It could be a really reliable book. And I tell them, please do not let Google be any of your 3. So you need to have good picture sources and good resources. So I hope that if any of you watched my videos or you have taken any of my classes, I was only one of your 3, and that you had 2 others to weigh against what I said. Now, I said that this little guy right here was usnea, and I think that I am mistaken. And so that is why I'm retracting what I've said. I absolutely don't want to lead anyone astray. I want to make sure that you guys are making safe and effective medicines for your family, and using herbal remedies that are safe and effective. And I am now not convinced that this is a proper usnea. So there's a couple of factors that you have to look for, and this type does have those factors. However, I have recently found out it might be what's called wolf lichen, and wolf lichen was used in Europe to poison wolves. So there is some interesting information that you can find on wolf lichen, and this to me matches that more closely than usnea, unfortunately. So all of the medicine that I made, all the tincture that was supposed to be good for like a herbal antibiotic, I'm going to be dumping down the drain. When in doubt, throw it out, because I'm just not positive. And I do family medicine. I do family herbs for my own family, and I was, so I'm really sorry if you made some and you were following my channel and you went ahead and made usnea out of this, and like me, wasted a bunch of Everclear on it, because that stuff's not cheap. But Mr. Finn, I want some snuggles today. I just have to put that out there. So I'm really sorry, you guys. And again, I hope that I was one of your 3, which means that you had 2 other sources telling you otherwise. The way that I came to find this out is that a friend of mine, she posted on one of my Facebook things, and she was very disappointed that what she had gathered was wolf lichen, and I think there's other names for it too, so if that's just one of the names, but anyway, she had posted that, and then I asked her a few questions in a private message, and I asked her to send me a picture of what she had harvested, and it looks so much like mine. So while again, I realize that that's only one source, some further research of mine, it just makes me, I am no longer positive of the herb that I have here. So the deer moss I was talking about a little bit earlier, that is a type of usnea. You can use it, but from my understanding, it's just not as effective as the proper usnea. So here is my plea to you guys. First of all, if you have made anything out of this and you're not 100% positive and have 3 positive IDs that it is usnea, please dump it out. Just be safe, okay? And then my second request from you guys is, could you please, if you know of anyone, especially if they're in my area, if you know of anyone, comment down below. I would love to hear any information you guys do have on properly identifying and finding usnea. And if you're in the area and you use usnea and you forage for usnea, I would love to go with you, and I would love to take the channel with. So if you could please contact me, that'd be fantastic. Leave me a comment, and hopefully we can figure this out for everyone, and I can do a better video. Lastly, I just wanted to tell you guys, I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving week celebrating with your families. I know that we are looking forward to celebrating with our families as well. And if you guys are going through anything that is difficult this season, I know that I can relate to that. And this week is perfect for reminding you to be thankful in all things. It will help you get through those hard times and those times that are not like you expected them to be. I like to just sit down sometimes with a journal and write a list of all the things I'm thankful for. Sometimes I like to sometimes in a really hard moment, I just stop what I'm doing and out loud say the things that I'm thankful for. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a giant, page-long thing. But even if you just say, a handful of things that you're thankful for, it just really helps bring perspective back to you, and it helps you be able to make the next step forward. So my heart goes out to you if you are struggling this week or having a hard time. The chickens would like to say happy Thanksgiving as well. But anyway, if you need prayers this week, please leave them down in the comment section. My kids and I would love to pray for you. We say our nighttime prayers every night, and the kids are so cute. They've been praying for our family. We've had a lot of sick family members, so to you guys, I love you guys. We've been praying for you. The kids are so cute every night, praying for Nana and Papa and all the other family members who have not been feeling very well. And say a little prayer for Maggie. She's not been feeling very well this week either, but we're giving her lots of herbs. This kitty cat. What are you doing, Finny? Hey, buddy. Meow meow. What are you doing? He's wondering why I'm out here at the back of the barn. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for hanging on. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. Our goal is by the end of the year to get 1,000, and the kids are so excited. So thank you each one of you for being subscribers to our channel and for watching our videos. Hit the like button and turn on the notifications. Every single time I post a video, you'll be notified. So I will see you guys again next Monday with another video. Oh, I forgot. I gotta tell you guys. I just, this week, will be releasing a new blog. I haven't blogged in so long, but I'm really excited. It's a good one. It's a little bit about what I've been going through and some of the lessons I've been learning while I'm walking through this process. So if you'd like to check that out, in the description box below, I will leave a link to my website, and you can check that out. And something else that's super exciting, even though I was a dummy and forgot to order any samples for our little family, but if you want to order new hoodies and sweatshirts and stuff and Christmas things, also check the website out for that, because we just put together some really amazing clothing items for Esther's Eden. And of course we have all of our herbal goodies available, and we'll be packaging those up and getting them ready to ship to you guys for Christmas stuff. So anyway, for this week though, have a great Thanksgiving. Check out our Facebook page for any Black Friday sales and all kinds of stuff. That's where it will be announced. Always remember to learn and grow.